Good evening. I am Anatoly Anatolisova, and this is Patriots Must Rise. The QR code up in the corner is a way to donate to us. We are a crowd-funded podcast. We do not accept sponsors because we do not want any chance of being censored. So if you want to support us, that's how you can do it. So let's get into it. Do you remember Peppermint Patty? Jen Psaki, the more than worthless press secretary that first graced the halls of the White House with the Joe Biden administration, the one that was such a failure that they had to go with an even more worthless press secretary that checks all the boxes. A black, female, lesbian, retarded press secretary. Well, Jen Psaki in a press release that made her network called Jen Psaki says a new GOP speaker should scare everyone because he is a Christian fundamentalist, says that the Bible, let's get this straight, the Bible never condemns homosexuality. Really? It does more than condemn homosexuality. In fact, Leviticus 18, verse 22 says that laying with a man as you would your wife is an abomination to God. It also speaks out against it in 1 Corinthians 6, 9 through 11. It goes further into saying in Deuteronomy and Leviticus that if you sleep with an animal, as in having sex with an animal, you shall be put to death. Just for reference to the LGBT community that seems to want to support Hamas, the Quran is basically just a reworded version of the Bible. Fundamentalist Islam actually does believe and act on the instructions of the Quran. So please, and I do beg you to do so, go and enlist to fight for Hamas. Please. You would be doing the world a favor. I am begging you, I am imploring with every ounce of my being that you do actually speak up, act on your words, and go to the Gaza Strip and and say, I support you. I want to fight with you. See how that goes. Because they're not nearly as accepting as some of us in America are. I am not accepting. I will tell you that right now. You threaten my kids. I believe in running you over with a steamroller. I believe it would be kind of comical, actually. So, to the leftists that actually believe that the Bible is supporting their side of the story, you're blatantly wrong. Not only is it not supporting your side of a story, most of your lifestyles in the old world would see the death penalty. A homosexual in the Middle East during the time of Christ and before would be disowned by his family, meaning that he would be put out into the desert without food and water and shunned by the entire community. He wouldn't last a day. I'm not too sure that that's wrong, to be honest. I'm really not. So I realize that there are a lot of people out there that want to be all inclusive and all accepting to the lifestyles that Gen Z and many others have wanted to adopt. But let's get one thing straight. The family is an institution of God, is an institution of the church. A public school is actually blatantly against the Constitution because the First Amendment states that Congress shall make no law regarding institutions of religion. The teachers' unions should have never been allowed to exist. And they certainly shouldn't have been funded and encouraged by any government within the United States because of the Constitution. I do understand that at one point unions looked really good because of unsafe working conditions and other bullshit like that through different forms of legislation has basically went to the wayside. We have a really arcane and incompetent organization that we know of as OSHA that gets in the way of everything and destroys any possibility of actually making a profit in America. It replaced the unions. So please get off your high horse with your stupid leftist propaganda. I'm really sick of seeing how stupid you guys are. Gen Zers getting on TikTok and actually saying that they will just refuse to go if there's a draft. I've already covered that. It's very important to me that you do refuse to go, because that would be funny. I would be ecstatic to cover that, because what would happen, and everybody that's listening to this knows it, is the judge would sentence you to 2 years in combat. You would be sentenced to following the orders of the draft. Not only would you be arrested, you would probably be killed for refusing to go. Well, that's what I have for tonight. Please like, subscribe, and until next time, live free, die well, and love your neighbor as Christ has loved you. And remember the QR code in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. We could definitely use the help. Thank you.